Originally from Earth 1191, Lucas Bishop was born in the 21st century to a world where mutants had been herded into concentration camps after the mutant messiah killed 1 million humans. In this timeline, Professor Charles Xavier and most of the X-Men were killed by the Sentinels. Bishop and his sister Shard were born in one of the many American concentration camps, the children of Burnham and Katie. Like other mutants, they were marked with tattoos on their faces with the letter M to signify that they were not human. Growing up in the camp and watching his mother slowly succumb to bitterness before her death, Lucas became an angry child, blaming the mutant messiah for the state of mutants. Tired of their situation, humans and mutants united to overthrow the Sentinels in a war that became known as the Summers Rebellion. However, humanity was still reluctant to coexist with mutants and both factions began a war. During the rebellion, Bishop lost his parents and was separated from his grandmother and sister. The boy headed to Manhattan where he met the Witness, a mysterious character believed to be Gambit. He raised him for a time and taught him the skills necessary to become a thief. Bishop eventually reunited with his sister and grandmother in Las Vegas, where the latter told them stories of the X-Men's heroism and asked them to continue Xavier's dream of achieving coexistence between humans and mutants. Not long after, Bishop's grandmother became ill and passed away, leaving him to care for his sister. Eventually, Bishop joined XSE, a group of mutant rebels that protected humans from the X-Humes, a radical group of mutants. Bishop and Shard were trained by Hancock, a friend of their grandmother who was later killed by 2 mutant terrorists. They were about to kill his sister, but Lucas awakened his powers and managed to save her. Thanks to their exploits, they both earned an officer position in the XSE. Shard became her brother's commanding officer, but Bishop was okay with having a lower rank as it allowed her to work on the streets. Sometime after taking command of her own squad in the XSE, Shard fell victim to an ambush set up by her criminal ex-boyfriend Trevor Fitzroy. During the altercation, Shard was infected by the Emplates, zombie-like creatures that absorbed the mutants' energy. As one of them, Shard was forced to kill mutants to absorb their energy and survive. In a subsequent encounter with the XSE, Bishop was forced to kill his own sister rather than let her live as the monster she had become. Heartbroken, Lucas left the XSE and agreed to work for the Witness for several years. Eventually, he returned to the XSE to hunt down Fitzroy and avenge his sister. During the chase, he found remains of the X-Men base along with a message from Jean Grey warning her teammates that there was a traitor on the team. Bishop had suspicions that the Witness was Gambit and began to question whether he was the traitor. Fitzroy was eventually captured, but escaped with other mutant criminals to the past, specifically, to the era of the X-Men. Bishop, Malcolm, and Randall followed him, although they knew they had no means of returning to their own time. The three eventually found and killed the criminals known as the Lifers, but Malcolm and Randall were killed and Bishop himself was seriously injured. He was taken to the Institute to recover. During the ensuing fight, Lucas defeated Fitzroy moments before he could complete his mission. Lucas's violent methods caused Storm's displeasure, and he distrusted Gambit. Still, Bishop agreed to join the X-Men's Gold Team. Legion, Professor X's son, attempted to alter history. Bishop and Psylocke tried to stop him, but failed and caused the Age of Apocalypse. During the Age of Apocalypse, Bishop aged and watched the world change, retaining memories of the incident and before. These memories from the real timeline forced Magneto and his X-Men to set things right. Using the Macron crystal, destiny and magic sent the old Bishop back in time to stop Legion. In the end he was successful, but the old Bishop died and part of his memories were transferred to his younger self. Returning to the present, Bishop managed to prevent the death of the X-Men at the hands of Onslaught and discovered that the traitor was Professor X under the influence of his evil side. In light of Gambit not being the traitor, the two made passes. Deathbird later kidnapped him and brought him to Apocalypse to become part of the 12, a group of mutants under the control of En-Sabah-Nur. With the help of the Witness and Chronomancer, a variant of Fitzroy, Bishop managed to escape and saved his sister's life in the future. Additionally, he discovered that the witness was not a future version of Gambit as he thought. At the end of this adventure, Lucas was launched through time. He was rescued by the Shear in the present, who took him back to Earth where he was reunited with the X-Men. Bishop joined Storm's Extreme X-Men team to search for Destiny's journals. Along the way, he revealed his real name to his friends. Bishop agreed to stay with Storm's new XSE team, whose goal was similar to those of Lucas's own future XSE. Bishop also became a consultant on mutant matters for the area of New York City known as District X, working with Officer Izzy Ortega. Bishop was one of the few mutants to retain his powers after M-Day. However, with the mutants' massive loss of power, there was no longer a need for police officers in Mutant Town. Bishop became an agent for the Office of National Emergency, which distanced him from the X-Men for a time. Likewise, he participated in the Civil War, being in favor of superhuman registration. When the first New Mutant since M-Day was born, Bishop became convinced that she was the mutant messiah, responsible for murdering 1 million humans in her future, so he decided to kill her. He attacked the X-Men using Sentinels and framed Cable for the incident. Bishop's next move was to travel to Dallas and attack Forge, before waiting for Cable to arrive with the mutant baby. When the opportunity arose, Bishop attempted to kill the newborn, but a moment of hesitation allowed the Marauders to kidnap the baby. Reluctantly, Bishop joined the X-Men to rescue her. Cable, with the help of Charles, convinced Scott to let him take the little girl to the future to keep her safe. Bishop surprised them at that moment and shot Cable, but the bullet wound up wounding the professor. Bishop escaped from the X-Men, attacked Forge at his Dallas headquarters, and stole time travel technology in the form of a cybernetic arm. Using time travel technology, Bishop followed Cable with the sole purpose of killing the baby. In the process, he discovered that if he killed Cable, mutants would always revere Nathan as a hero who risked his life to save the mutant messiah. In his efforts to kill the boy, Bishop set several traps for Cable across the timestream, killing millions in the process, though he saw them not as people who actually exist, but as people who would not exist if he did not kill Hope. After multiple failures in his quest to kill Hope, Bishop located and enlisted the help of Strife, promising him that he would help him kill Apocalypse and Cable. Strife and Bishop traveled to a point in the future where Apocalypse was at his weakest and managed to defeat him, although the ancient mutant clung to life unbeknownst to them. Strife built an empire using celestial technology and Bishop became his right-hand man, waiting for Cable and Hope to resurface. When they appeared along with X-Force, Hope was kidnapped. Bishop attempted to kill Hope, but was stopped by Strife, who wanted to make her his heir and future vessel. Strife and Bishop's plans were foiled by Apocalypse, X-Force, and Cable. Cable managed to rescue Hope and escaped once again. After several attempts to kill Hope, Cable manipulated Bishop's cybernetic arm and sent him to the year 6700, leaving him no chance to return. As Bishop wandered the wasteland, he reflected that he was both a father to Hope and Cable and that whatever she would become would be because of him, leaving him to reflect on whether he had done the right thing. Bishop realized he was wrong when he tried to kill Hope, and while on the brink of death, he was saved by a group of humans called the Order. They nursed him back to health, gave him a home, and trained him to be a hunter so he could help them destroy monsters called revenants that possessed people and turned them into monsters. Bishop killed one every day, but when he encountered a possessed father and his daughter, he killed the father, but did not dare kill the girl. She begged him not to kill her, as the revenants within her had not taken her completely and she was still human. Bishop forgave the girl, Amber, who became his companion and friend. While hunting, Bishop was lured into a trap by the Queen of the Revenants, Ghost Owl. Bishop was attacked and possessed by the Demon Bear and the Ghost Owl, who used him to travel back in time. Bishop found himself back in the present and was very happy with his return. However, his mind and body were taken over by the Demon Bear. With Storm's help, Psylocke freed Bishop from possession. Storm took the opportunity to erase Bishop's memory of his obsession with Hope, hoping to get her friend back, but he fell into a coma. It was later revealed that the Queen of the Revenant was still hidden within Lucas's mind and planned to alter history to rule the future. She used Bishop's body as a container until she abandoned him. Hope Summers later attacked Bishop so she could get revenge for trying to kill her, but they both ended up held captive by Strife. Strife tried to manipulate Hope into killing Bishop, but she refused. They were both saved by X-Force and the Messiah decided to forgive Bishop. Sometime later, Bishop joined Psylocke, Archangel, Gambit, Mystique, Phantom X, Old Man Logan, and Rogue in trying to prevent Shadow King from escaping the astral plane. Bishop was infected by Shadow King's psyche, but thanks to the presence of Professor X, they managed to defeat him and Lucas was freed. The crazed Nathan Summers from another reality decided to remake the world in his image, and to achieve this, he destroyed the X-Men. Bishop and the other mutants who disappeared were transported to a reality created by Nate Gray and the Life Seed, a world where everyone on Earth was a mutant and relationships were strongly discouraged or illegal. Memories of their previous lives were also erased and new ones were put in their place. Bishop was a member of this reality's X-Men. Lucas began a romantic relationship with Jean Grey, which was prohibited. As a result, Jean had her memory wiped while Bishop was imprisoned and his existence was erased from the minds of everyone he knew, as if he had never existed. Eventually, Nate realized the flaws in his new world and decided to return everything to normal. Bishop did not have much involvement in the Age of Krakoa other than being one of its great captains and was later named Chief Captain after Cyclops resigned from the position. With his ability to absorb energy and redirect it, as well as his extensive combat training, Bishop is ready to help the X-Men both in the future and present to achieve the seventh peaceful coexistence between humans and mutants.